Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scout Sports 101 Sunday Night Football postgame show, Monday Night Football update show. We're going to get to the Sunday night game and recap that. We'll update you on the Monday night game. But first, here is today's Scout Sports 101 Monday Night Football weekly trivia question. This player wore number 32, was named a Super Bowl MVP, and caught the immaculate reception. Raiders fans disagree. Which player had a section of fans known as the Italian Army? I will have the answer later on the podcast. Well, we're going to recap the Sunday night game for you right now. One dominant quarter against Dallas proved to be enough for the San Francisco 49ers to head into their bye week on a high note. Brock Purdy bounced back from a shaky first half to lead 3 touchdown drives in the third quarter, and the Niners narrowly avoided another fourth quarter collapse with a late defensive stand that sealed a 30-24 victory Sunday night. We're a confident team, left tackle Trent Williams said. We know that we haven't played up to our standard that many times in these first 8 games. I don't think that we're looking at this game to draw some newfound confidence. I just think that we can run the ball effectively and not turn it over. The results today are what we can expect. So, and yeah, that sort of is that is what they can expect. The Niners are now 4-4. Bounced back from a loss last week in a Super Bowl rematch against Kansas City, with a strong performance against the Cowboys, who fall to 3-4, that they hope will set them up for another big push in the second half of the season. San Francisco went 16-2 following its Week 9 bye the past 2 seasons to make it to the NFC title game in 2022 and the Super Bowl last season. Purdy had a TD run and threw a TD pass during the 21-0 third quarter blitz that turned into a 10-6 halftime deficit and a 27-10 lead. But San Francisco had to hold on late after Dak Prescott cut the deficit to 6. Prescott had a chance to complete the comeback, but threw 4 straight incomplete passes after getting the ball back with 3:05 left in the fourth quarter. I was frustrated. We made it a game when it didn't need to be. Linebacker Fred Warner said, "We put ourselves in that situation, so we had to get ourselves out, and it was about going out there and finishing the game, and we did that." San Francisco took control in the third quarter, driving 60 yards after the opening kick of the half to score on rookie Isaac Guerendo's 4-yard run. Demondori Leonard's interception that set up San Francisco in Dallas territory, leading to Purdy's 2-yard touchdown pass to George Kittle, who finished with 6 catches for 128 yards. The Niners then drove 75 yards for another TD when Purdy scored on a sneak from 2 yards out. I saw the rest of our team was clicking, and I just had to do my job, Purdy said. Third quarter, I came out and kept it simple, but also played aggressive. Purdy bounced back from a 3-interception performance last week against the Chiefs to go 18 for 26 carries and attempts for 260 yards against Dallas. The Cowboys returned from their bye and didn't look a whole lot better for most of the game than they did in a 47-9 loss at home for Detroit 2 weeks ago. Prescott threw 2 interceptions for a third straight game, the first Cowboys quarterback to do that in 32 years, and struggled to generate any consistent offense until the fourth quarter. The defense struggled to slow San Francisco down at all outside of when the Niners committed penalties or Purdy was off target on a few passes, and added up to another loss that will increase the outside pressure on Coach Mike McCarthy, who was in the final year of his contract. As coaches and players, we can learn from this, McCarthy said. We're 3-4. That's the facts of this deal. I'm disappointed. We obviously felt we were going to come in here and do what we needed to do to get the win, and we came up short. Prescott finished 25 for 38 carries and attempts for 243 yards. Lamb caught 13 passes for 146 yards. 49ers running back Jordan Mason went to the locker room in the first half after re-injuring his shoulder that forced him to miss most of the second half. 2 weeks ago against Seattle, linebacker D. Winters left the game in the second half with a concussion. Wide receiver Deebo Samuel had a rib injury and he left in the fourth quarter. So the Cowboys will have to regroup as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons and Kirk Cousins on this Sunday. And the Niners will be at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay to take on Baker Mayfield, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So right now, I have to give the game balls to the San Francisco 49ers right now. I got to give them to them. Brock Purdy, 18 of 26 carries and attempts, 260 yards, 1 touchdown. George Kittle, 6 receptions, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. And Isaac Guerendo, 14 attempts, 85 yards, 1 touchdown. So that's how that really shaped up. And San Francisco was just happy to get the win. Right now, we're going to get to Monday Night Football Week 8 in just a second. But right now, it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 8 trivia question. And it's a Steelers trivia question. As I mentioned, this player wore number 32, was named Super Bowl MVP, and caught the immaculate reception. Raiders fans disagree. Which player had a section of fans known as the Italian Army? And if you said the late, great Franco Harris, you are correct. Franco Harris was the 13th overall pick in the 1972 NFL Draft. He was also NFL Rookie of the Year, gaining 1,055 yards with 10 rushing and 3 receiving TDs, He played all but one of his 13 seasons with the Steelers. When he retired, he was about 200 yards shy of Jim Brown's all-time rushing record. I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. It's Monday Night Football Week 8. We have a great AFC-NFC matchup for you tonight. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Giants are battling it out right now. The Hasker Stadium in Pittsburgh, PA. And it's 9-9 in the third quarter with 7:35 to go. 1st and 10 at the Jets 26 and the Giants 26, and the Giants have the ball. And if the Steelers win this game tonight, they will be in first place all by themselves in the AFC North. Now, the Steelers and Giants, and I said, and Tidy night was halftime and now it's third quarter, and it was a very low-scoring first half by far in this game. And I'll update you where we stand in just a moment. Right now, I want to read the preview. I didn't get a chance to do that, and I want to do that right now. The relentless questions surrounding the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh seem to have finally stopped, temporarily anyway. Having Russell Wilson account for 3 touchdowns and showing flashes of his Russ Cook prime as he did in a win over the Jets in his Steelers debut last week certainly helped. Uh, Mike Tomlin, uh, inundated constantly about the status of his quarterback room over the first several weeks as Wilson rehabbed a calf injury, and backup Justin Fields performed capably in Wilson's absence. Uh, Faced one solitary inquiry about whether Wilson would get the nod again when the Steelers 5-2 are now host the struggling Giants, who they're battling it out with right now in Pittsburgh on Monday night. And even that was merely as a point of clarification. He's scheduled to, and he's scheduled to take the first team reps. Tomlin said, the smile on his face and the hint of sarcasm in his voice as he spoke, giving off the vibe of a coach only too happy to move on. Then some questions that have quieted in Pittsburgh only appear to be growing louder in New York, where the Giants are reeling, and Daniel Jones hardly looks like the player that led the organization to lavish him with a 4-year, $160 million extension just over 18 months ago. New York coach Brian DeBall, whose job status going forward appears to be stable at this point, is sticking with Jones for now, believing the issues plaguing the NFL's 30th ranked offense go far deeper than his quarterback. He's the starter and will work on improving the things we need to improve, DeBall said of Jones. And the Giants will have to do it against TJ Watt, led the Steelers defense that is second in the NFL in takeaways and points allowed. And they'll have to do it in Pittsburgh, which hasn't lost a Monday night game at home since 1991, a streak of 21 straight wins and counting. Before even some of y'all were born, the Steelers have lived up to a standard on defense, and they've maintained that for a really long time, and they still hold that true. Giants wide receiver Darius Slayton said, it's obviously going to take a physical quarter game for us to be able to beat them, or exactly the kind of game the Steelers specialize in, particularly at home under the bright Monday night lights. If there has been a silver lining to Jones, very real problems while playing at home, it's that he's better on the road. Jones is one of the 3 quarterbacks with 2+ TD passes and a 100+ rating in 3 road games this season. Pittsburgh special teams coordinator Danny Smith challenges one of his units to get their hands on at least one kick a week, and an audacious goal that he does not apologize for setting. Smith's players are listening. The Steelers have blocked the kick in 3 straight games, the first time any team has done that since the New England Patriots in 2017, and that's without All-Pro special teams ace Mike Killebrew getting into the mix. That's fine by Killebrew, who is only too happy to see teammates such as defensive tackle Dean Lowry and outside linebacker Jeremiah Moon get into the mix. It's addicting, Killebrew said. I can say from experience, blocking a kick is probably one of the most exhilarating things you can do in this sport, and it's a game changer. Giants rookie receiver Malik Neighbors caught a season-low 4 passes last week and returning from a concussion that caused him to miss 2 games. When asked only four the first round pick responded blunt. Why only four the first round pick responded bluntly, that's when he was open. New York's best path to pulling off the upset punched through Neighbors, who was tied for 7th in the league with 39 receptions. Those guys that get an opportunity to hug Commissioner Roger Goodell, man, at the draft, it's usually because of some real tangible things and some some real intangible things, Tomlin said. And Neighbors has both, and he has our attention in that regard. Longtime Steelers defensive tackle Cameron Hayward will appear in his 202nd regular season game on Monday, the most ever by a Steelers defender, breaking the tie with Hall of Fame defensive back Donnie Shell. And it's now 15-9. Steelers just scored, and the extra point or 2-point conversion will be coming up. And it was Austin that scored that one. And he really ran. It's going to be an extra point. And that is good. It's now 16-9. Steelers, 4:38 left to go in the third quarter. 35-year-old Hayward hasn't lost much of his step in his 14th season. Hayward's 3 sacks are more than he had during his injury, marred 2023, and he's one of the main reasons the Steelers are third in the league against the run. Hayward, a 6-time Pro Bowler, understands who he's passing in the team record book. It's one of the reasons he doesn't take his role for granted even now. It's something that I've got to produce, he said, and you know I want to hold up my end of the deal. Pittsburgh's offensive line has been an injury-riddled puzzle for most of the season, with 5 different starting combinations in 7 games. Yet the consistent shuffle-up hasn't slowed down the running game. If anything, the Steelers are starting to find their groove on the ground, with Najee Harris leading the way. Harris has topped 100 yards in consecutive weeks for the second time in his career, with most of them coming in the second half as the opposing defenses wear down. I think that's just football, Tomlin said. And I think that anybody who has a commitment to running the football, it's going to wage a war of attrition, if you will. The dam eventually breaks. So, and right now the Giants trail 16-9. They're going to have to really come back and try to score if they want to win this one tonight in Pittsburgh. I'm having a little technical problem here. There we go. And right now, I'm gonna let you know where we stand. Right now, I'm gonna go recap the first half. First quarter, the Steelers tried to score a touchdown. It was 3-20 at the Giants 22. Russell Wilson passed short left to Warren at the Giants 13 for a 9-yard gain, and then they got into field goal range. Didn't have to go for a touchdown. But Chris Boswell's 31-yard field goal is good, and it was 3-0 Steelers. And the Giants they tried to score a touchdown. They wanted to and couldn't do it. 3-12 at the Pittsburgh 18. Daniel Jones pass left to Will Robinson to the Pittsburgh 11 for 7 yards, and then they got the 4th and 5 at the Pittsburgh 11. And Greg Joseph's 29-yard field goal was good, and it was 3-3. It was tied at 3. And then Pittsburgh again tried to score a touchdown. Couldn't do it. And then they got the 3rd and goal at the Giants 7. Russell Wilson pass incomplete short middle to Austin for no gain. And then 4th and 7 at the Giants 7. They went for a field goal again. Chris Boswell's 25-yard field goal is good, and it was 6-3 Steelers. And then the Giants, they couldn't score. They wanted to score and couldn't do it. Daniel Jones pass incomplete, deep left to Malik Neighbors, and so for no gain. And then the 4th and 8 at the Pittsburgh 21. Greg Joseph's 39-yard field goal is good, and we're tied at 6 at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, the the Steelers tried to score another touchdown and couldn't do it. They were not able to do it. And then 3rd and 8 at the Giants 9. Russell Wilson passed short right to George Pickens for a 9-yard touchdown. Whereas the replay official reviewed the play, the pass completion ruling, and the play was reversed. Shotgun Russell Wilson pass incomplete, short to George Pickens, and Banks and Burns. So for no gain. Then they got in the field goal range, 8, excuse me. 4th and 8 at the Giants 9. Chris Boswell's 27-yard field goal is good, and it was 9-6 Steelers. Steelers had to punt. No, Giants had to punt, excuse me, after going 3 and out. 3 plays, 7 yards. On the Steelers had to punt after going 3 and out. 8 plays, 25 yards. And then the Giants got tried to score a touchdown. They weren't able to do it. Daniel Jones, third and 5 at the Pittsburgh 29. Daniel Jones passed short right to Grade, pushed out of bounds at the Pittsburgh 26 for 3 yards. And then they got in the field goal range, set up for a field goal. 4th and 2 at the Pittsburgh 26. Greg Joseph's 44-yard field goal is good, and it was 9-9. And it was 2nd and 10 at the Pittsburgh 43. Russell Wilson passed short middle to Warren at the Pittsburgh 47 for 4 yards. And then that was the end of the first half, and we're tied at 9 at halftime. Now in the third quarter, Giants had to punt after going 3 and out, 8 plays. 27 yards, and the Steelers had to punt after going 3 and out. 3 plays, 5 yards, and the Giants had to punt again after going 3 and out. 3 plays, 7 yards. Oh, and that's when when Hack punted, it was a Austin for the 73-yard touchdown, and a penalty on the Giants. It was a Fox illegal formation, declined. And the extra point was good, and it's 16-9 right now. And right now it's 3 and 13 at the Giants. It's a 4th and 6 at the. It's a 3 and out. They're having to punt. And Hack punts 66 yards to the end zone. Center critter for a touchback. And now the Steelers are having the ball, and have the ball, and that's where we stand. It's the 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 20, and the Steelers have the ball. So we'll see if Pittsburgh can hold on to win or if the Giants can rally. I have taken Pittsburgh, and my brother-in-law has taken the Giants. And right now, I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5. I am 9 and 5 right now. If I win that, I go to 10 and 5. My brother-in-law, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is 6 and 9. And if my brother-in-law wins, he'll go to 7 and 9 this week. So if the Giants win. So we shall see which team will emerge victor. Will the Giants rally and come back, or will Pittsburgh hang on? Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101. The Sunday Night Football Postgame Show, Monday Night Football Update Show. I'll be back with the Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football Postgame Show once the game between the Steelers and Giants has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.